Pennywise and the boys are back. That's right, y'all. Today on this episode, we're going to be talking about the debut season premiere of Welcome to Derry. If you've been watching this channel for a while, you know specifically how much I fuck with Pennywise, the Eater of Worlds. Specifically, even though I'm a 90s baby and I do sentimentally value the Tim Curry rendition, the OG, Bill Skarsgård and Andy Muschietti really packed a punch in those remakes in the late 2000s. But this highly anticipated HBO show is back, and let's just say, I've seen some people dog it, but I genuinely think it's fantastic, so let's talk about it. What up, y'all? Welcome back to Phantom of the Indie Review. I am your host, Balloon Boy Dill. We are on the journey of 5,000 subscribers, so let's get there. We talk about horror, nostalgia, creepy clowns, vibes, Otis, Driftwood, he's the GOAT. So if any of that sounds of interest to you, come hang out with me, give me a subby. I'll start off by saying thoroughly that this episode starts and ends with a bang. Always when it's an HBO production, it's going to be filmed immaculately. And a thing I've been liking a lot lately with a lot of these new Stephen King adaptations, from The Long Walk, Salem's Lot, to Welcome to Derry, is that they're not doing star-studded casts. Yeah, there's some actors in here that are notable, familiar. It's a lot of actors that you don't know, so when you're seeing these actors that you're not familiar with, it kind of immerses you more into the horror. This episode starts off with a young boy named Maddie, and he's in a movie theater when he gets busted by this dude, and he runs out, tries to escape, and gets picked up by this family as he's trying to hitchhike. And they're like, "Where are you trying to go? We'll take you home." And he's like, "Anywhere but Derry." And they're like, "Okay, well, we're going to Portland, so hop in." And right off the rip, this family has an eerie, ominous, almost like uncanny vibe to them right off the rip, that you know there is something wrong with them. It's a mom, a dad, and their two kids. This little boy, this is a nerdy kid that keeps spelling words. And you're getting this dreary sense of dread until the little girl in the back takes out this box that just says liver on it, and she opens it up, has blood on her hands, and she's like touching this young kid, Maddie. And this intro, even though it's very wild and outlandish, it's very eerie and haunting and very reminiscent to how Pennywise, this monster, deals with torturing kids. It is goofy. Like when you're a grown-up my age, you're watching this, you're not going to be terrified. It's more humorous than anything. It starts off brutal right off the rip, and it packs a punch of this grotesque scene where the mom in the front seat gives birth to like this demonic flying creature baby, and they say some outlandish shit, and Maddie, who just wanted to escape, sees that they're driving back towards Derry, so you get this sense, this urgency, this present that whatever this entity is in control of this car, and he's not escaping this monster, when, boom, it appears that he gets murked. It cuts to some World War II vibes, maybe, like, I don't know what years this is. Some fucking war military vibes, dude, and this dude and his homie step off this airplane, and it is Sergeant Major Leroy Hanlon, and that's the first little, not Easter egg, but homage to the original. You're like, oh, this might be Mike Hanlon's like great-grandfather or dad, who Mike Hanlon is a very pivotal character in the It franchise. He's the one that stays behind in the town. He's the one that kind of brings the band back together, the Losers Club back together to stop it. And this particular story arc, again, it's just the first episode that was released, was very interesting, but also made me think the most, and was a little bit confused because as all this creepy, eerie, spooky stuff is happening, they're on a military base talking about, you know, ranks and building airplanes and all this crazy shit that you're like, it's gonna connect the dots down the line, but I'm not sure. But this Leroy character is likable. You do mess with him a lot. It just has this weird like relief throughout the episodes of the horror, because the other side of the story, these new kids who, again, this other young kid, I don't remember his first name, something Urus, he is a descendant of Stan, and you start to think, alright, are they going to do another rehash of a Losers Club? Because Phil, Urus, and then this other girl that all knew Maddie band together, and they're curious of his disappearance, and they're like, we really want to figure out, like, he wasn't our best friend, but they liked him because Maddie was like this misunderstood kid, and they know he went missing. They're like, maybe he's dead. And the young girl, when she's at home, she is devastated. She's going through trauma. Her father was killed in this brutal accident, and she feels like she's to blame for it. She has guilt, and she's in the bathroom thinking about that, thinking about Maddie is the only kid she ever told about this incident, and now he's missing. And then as she's thinking about it, she hears his voice in the drain singing this creepy song. So she goes to these two kids, Phil and Eurus, and Eurus is so cool. He's such a vibe. He's such like a chill, nonchalant, like leading character, and he's like, you know what, he's a nerd, he reads comic books. The other one's kind of comic relief, and he's like, you know, homie believes in aliens and no one disses him. Like, he's like, your story sounds improbable, but doesn't mean it's impossible. And then later that night, he's talking to his dad, and his dad's telling him, he's like, you need to stop reading comic books, you need to stop worrying about missing kids. Like, we're Jewish, we were in the Holocaust, dude, we were fucking killed and put on lampshades and shit. And this one scene, Eurus is in his room reading comic books when the light shuts off, it clicks back on, and then this fucking Ed Gein vibe, lampshade face, attacks him. And that's what I like about this episode. Like, in the original one, Pennywise, he's a clown, and again, the remake, they're afraid of germaphobes, monsters, kind of cliche things to be scared of, but taking a lampshade or that weird demonic baby is really cool, because it's creating and manifesting these new fears that you don't really see in movies. New setup, who's this? So guys, this is Drip Fed Dread. Just want to do a quick little plug, let y'all know that we be dropping videos all October long. Got this one series up called Dread Festival. We talk about Tales from the Crypt, House of a Thousand Corpses. Look at that shit. And I just made an Instagram. This is what it's called. Behind the scenes shit, spooky shit, all that fun stuff to come hang out with me. I'm gonna be posting there, TikTok. And you know, we turning up. We fucking turning up heavy. Let's do it. Me and hell yeah. And this little new losers club bands together, and let's just say this is where we're gonna get into some heavy spoilers, where this episode flips on its head. Again, the Sergeant Hanlon story, the military stuff that kind of happens throughout the story, it's very interesting and curious, but it left me thinking, because I don't really know what it has to do with to tie into it, other than him being like a descendant of Mike Hanlon, until we find out that these kids are like, the last person to see Maddie was this little girl at the theater. So they go to talk to her. She ends up being Charlotte Hanlon, the daughter of this military guy, but she witnessed him leave, and she's like, dude, they blamed the fucking missing kid on my family, get out of here. And they're like, all right, man. And one of the kids mentioned something about the song, and she's like, wait, you heard that song too? I hear it in the pipes all the time. So they sneak into this movie theater, and let's just say they're watching the screen, and it's that movie that he was watching. The same song comes on, everything seems hunky-dory when they see Maddie on the screen, and they're like, oh shit, that's haunting as hell. And they're like, Maddie, walk towards us, come to us, help us, we can help you. And he's like, he won't let me out. Then boom, all of a sudden that creature from the beginning that attacked Maddie comes flying out of the screen and belligerently tears them all apart, kills them brutally, most of them. And you're like, holy shit. Like, because again, in prequels you think like, oh, like they're gonna be main characters, but again, it's along the lines of like Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the beginning, where that one's a prequel and everyone gets fucking killed off. And I like that because it subverted your expectations. Andy Muschietti and this company are really trying to tell a story about Pennywise, the Eater of Worlds. So far Pennywise hasn't showed up, but again, that's cool too, because they could be like, here's a clown, because I can see a lot of people being like, oh, this episode sucked, we didn't see the dancing clown Pennywise once. But it's like, this creature was manifesting fears before he latched onto the Pennywise character specifically, so to have him have a chance at other things and not rely on Bill Skarsgård's presence is awesome. Mentions of, you know, Mathurin, the opposite of the Eater of Worlds, the protector of the world, the little turtle, the mascot of the school is a turtle. Maddie had this little turtle pendant, so again, it's paying homage to that lore. And my biggest thing that I liked a lot about this episode is that it really flipped it on its head. Like, it didn't give you the expectations. A lot of people could watch this and be like, oh, it's gonna be like another little mini losers club, or we're gonna see the clown a lot, or they could have took a cliche route. And I feel like from the first opening scene with that torture and torment and that little creepy baby to the end where the kids get absolutely slaughtered and the girl screams, like, it really tried to tell a story that hasn't been done before, and I really like that. Really fucked with this episode heavy. I think it offered a lot of lore to Derry, and it's going to unfold more, and it left me wondering. I didn't finish the episode and I was like, yeah, it was alright. I was genuinely curious to see what happened. And it is cool that there are some family members like Charlotte Hanlon or Eurus that are kind of descendants, but aren't going to be like these heroes eventually, because their family never even knew about it. Like the kids like Eddie and fucking Stan and Mike and Beverly, they didn't know about this history until it came and they had to figure it out. So it's not like it was passed down from generation to generation to scare them. But alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, give me a thumb, or hit that ding-a-ling button, harassing you, telling you hates me, I'm here. And I'm gonna say one time for the one time and two time for the O's. Give me a hell yeah for horror. Beep beep fat boy. A lot of times when you make a short film or you put it on YouTube, or you know, I'm not saying people half-ass it, but the production quality on this film alone is fucking magnificent. You can tell that this dude is thoroughly inspired by the likes of